None.
Khalil Mack has been traded to the Chicago Bears for multiple draft picks. This is a horrible deal and sends the wrong message. Yes, the first round picks could be helpful in the future, but this does nothing to help us now. If anything, this deal should have been done before the draft. This is a bad deal for the Raiders, and I just don't get the logic of doing so. If anything, this deal shows the power that Jon Gruden has with his big contract. He has absolute authority with the job security to not care what other people think. The biggest fear for Gruden was his personnel decisions. While he's shown the ability to create a nice offense and lead a team, he's never shown the ability to handle the team along with the cap. I had hoped that Reggie McKenzie as a GM would reel him back some in assembling the roster, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Say what you will about McKenzie, but he's been great at managing the cap and preparing for the future. He had managed the cap well enough to prepare for the extensions of Derek Carr and Gabe Jackson last year and Khalil Mack this year. I have no doubt if McKenzie was in charge, Khalil Mack would have signed an extension this year and Amari Cooper next year. There's plenty of cap space for the next few years to prepare for this, but now I have no idea what Gruden's plan is for the future. Going back to Khalil Mack, there was no good reason to trade him. In fact, Gruden hasn't even talked to Mack since he became the head coach. That is terrible player management by the new coach. In fact, reports state that Gruden even thought about trading Mack once he got on board. I don't understand the reasoning at all, especially to not even talk to your star player. Mack was everything you could hope for in a player. There were no questions about him on and off the field. He works hard on the field with Hall of Fame talent in his prime and is an absolute leader. Mack is a homegrown talent, and trading him away sends the wrong message to the locker room. If being an all-pro locker room leader who does everything the right way doesn't get what he deserves, what will the rest of the guys think? The best defense for this is that Gruden believes that the finances needed to pay Khalil Mack is better used if it was spread out all over the defense. While that may be true, I can't picture any combination of players that would make up for the production of Khalil Mack. That kind of talent doesn't walk through the doors every day. They could improve the secondary and the rest of the defensive line with the money spread out, but there just aren't that many good players for the Raiders to sign. Mack has produced at an elite level in Ken Norton Jr.'s scheme. Imagine what he could do with a coordinator like Paul Guenther. Also in his defense, elite defensive players will get you over the top, but they don't make a huge difference to the team overall. Von Miller, Khalil Mack, and Aaron Donald had years of elite production, but they didn't even lead their team to the playoffs. Even further back, Ndamukong Suh was signed for league-setting salaries and really didn't do much to improve the team. In fact, Chandler Jones led the league in sacks the last 2 seasons, and the Cardinals just broke 500 last year. Elite defensive players just don't have the same amount of impact on the team. This doesn't excuse the trade though. The Raiders had 2 bookend leaders on both sides of the ball. Khalil Mack on defense and Derek Carr on offense. 2 top players in 2 of the most important positions hoping to turn the franchise around. They were the best of friends and had dreams of one day hoisting the trophy together. Seeing what they were able to do on the field, it didn't seem too far away from one day happening. It would have been a storybook turnaround. Now, it's all thrown away for a few draft picks. Draft picks are more like lottery tickets. The Raiders hit big time in 2014 with Khalil Mack. Instead of using that ticket, the Raiders decided to exchange it for more lottery tickets. It's not exactly like the Raiders and McKenzie have a proven track record with picks. The Raiders could end up with players like Gale Sayers and Dick Butkus, or Trent Richardson and Brandon Whedon. The most likely realistic scenario is probably something similar to Amari Cooper and Carl Joseph. A good player and a solid starter. You get draft picks to hopefully one day get players like Khalil Mack. Most likely, the return for the trade won't net a player near Khalil Mack's caliber. This trade makes no sense.